Hi there, I'm Terry. Today on 5 Minute Velo I want to give you a quick update to a video I posted a few days ago. That video was about the toll that winter had taken both on me and my bike. In that video I described that my bike needed a lot of maintenance and my body did too. Well, in the days since I posted that video I can report that I've done no maintenance on my body apart from a bit of stretching. However, I have done some maintenance on my bike. So what maintenance did I carry out on the bike? First of all, I assessed the chain for wear and I found that it was not too badly worn, although it was very dirty. So I decided to take it off and bag it up. Why did I bag it up? Well, in the top right hand corner you'll see a video as to why I do that. I then took the pedals off of the cranks and cleaned those up a bit. Next I removed the crankset and cleaned that up. In order to do that properly I took the chain rings off of the cranks, gave it a thorough cleaning and put it back together. I did notice there's a bit of surface corrosion on one of the chain rings. Next I took the bike outside and gave it a thorough cleaning. I removed the cassette, cleaned that up and had a look at it. I decided that it looked in quite good condition, so I would reuse that. The next thing I did was turn my attention to the bottom bracket bearings, and those bearings were in a very bad state. They were very rough feeling and the one on the left hand side was even loose, so I had to replace those, and there will be a video on that shortly. Once I'd replaced the bearings I put the cranks back on. I could then put a new chain on the bike. Well, actually it's not a new chain, it's a chain that I'd previously used and had bagged up. It had done about 1,000 kilometers. Next I took the tyres off and swapped the front for the rear and the rear for the front. This allows me to even up the wear on the two tyres. That way when I come to replace them I can replace both tyres at the same time. Although the brakes were working well, the brake blocks were getting rather worn, so I decided to replace those, both on the rear and on the front. Finally I gave the bike a thorough check over, checking all of the bearings and making sure that the gears were working correctly and indexing okay. I do have a couple of little jobs to do. First of all, the noodles on my brakes here are getting a bit rusty, so I want to replace those, and I have some flexible noodles that also have an adjuster built into them. That'll be quite useful because at the moment I don't have an adjuster, and any adjustments I have to make by taking up the slack in the cable. Finally, my saddle, and this was a very cheap saddle, is deteriorating. As you can see, it's starting to crack. Although it's still comfortable, I'm happy with it, at some point it's going to deteriorate to a position where I can't really use it anymore. So I need to think about getting a new saddle. I've covered 77 kilometers and 670 meters of climbing. By the time I get home, that'll be 80 kilometers and 700 meters of climbing. I must admit I'm getting quite tired now. What about the bike? The chain's been running fairly smoothly, although making a little bit of noise. That's because it's a reused chain. However, it has not been slipping, which is something that can happen when you reuse a chain or cassette. The bottom bracket's running nice and smoothly. And the wheels, they're going around. I haven't had to use the brakes that much, but they seem to be working fairly well.